Today is the 8th of July 2024, and this will be our 8th video on algebraic expressions and solutions. Okay, and I think in this series this will be the last. Okay, I wanted to start treating my platform like when you go to a library and you need a book, you just pick the one you want and then go and use it. Okay, because there are a lot of videos. So if maybe you want a topic, you can use this. If you're in year 7, year 8, year 9, that is okay. Okay, you can start from the beginning and watch through, okay, whilst you get on with your course, because you still have 4.5 years to write the exams. But assuming you are in year 10 and you've done some of these topics already, just Google the topic you want. Okay, I'm still adding more. So Google the topic you want, and then watch the video, look at the questions we solved, use it, learn it to help you, because most of the questions are past papers anyway. I was watching a video and I think there was a comment on one of the topics that they repeat a paper this year, 2024. A paper was a subject, or a paper was repeated, which was the same thing, question to question, word for word, was repeated, that they did 9 years ago or 2009 or something. I didn't have time to watch it, so I'm just paraphrasing, but this is my point. Okay, they can just twist the questions as much as they can, so you can get questions that came 15 years ago, okay, and it's still the same method. So don't limit yourself. Do past papers, understand what you are supposed to do, and get on. I'm going to start trying something new. Instead of saying all this in the beginning, I'll just I'll just take a caption of it on the video whilst I introduce what I'm going to say, so that that bit will be off. But as you watch my notes/script, you'll be able to see all those, because I have repeated all this in about 260 videos. Okay, so if you are watching my video, you should understand by now. If it doesn't work, I'll do it for a month or two. If it doesn't work, or somebody writes me, or it texts me, or leave a comment that I should bring it back, I'm happy to bring it back. Now, recap. I did only 2 videos last week. So I didn't upload for 3 days, but there was a lot of distractions with the elections and the old Prime Minister leaving, the new Prime Minister coming in. I just wanted to engage in that. Okay, so that I won't be this, because I do like a little bit of politics, and at times I just want to watch. Okay, so we have a new Prime Minister now from a different party. Okay, we just want to wish him the best. We hope he does well for the sake of all of us, and our going ones too. we thank them for their service, okay, whether it was good or bad. At least if they can hold their head up high and feel like they did their best, that is a judgment they can make, we cannot make for them. And we thank them also, okay. Uh, so my recap, okay. So I use the quadratic formula to solve a question. Just have a look, okay? Please have a look, okay? So that wouldn't take much of your time. The rest of the questions that I'll get under this topic, I'll add it to the next series of the exam questions I'm going to solve for you, okay? I'll try and do another 50 possible exam questions, and then we'll get solve past papers and do that, okay? But at the moment, unlike last year where I get started, so I was trying to see how it will go. At the moment, I think I am every day I'm thinking about it. So I've got a lot of videos, so I can a bit relax and look at other things as well. So no relax, I'll still solve questions, but for the Gcse platform, there is a lot of information that can help you, okay. Our starter today again will be on mental maths, on sets, okay. Example, the first one, 32 root 54 divided by 4 root 6, okay. Now, I'm writing, because of the division, I'm writing it in this form. Now, because of the root 6 here, 6 times 9 will be 54. So I'll prefer to use root 9, root 6 at the numerator to cancel out, okay. I could use root 2, root 27. But if I do that, I can't get rid of the root 6, okay? Mental math is supposed to be something that it helps you think faster. So with my knowledge of the timetable, 32 divided by 4 is 8. Now, if I break root 54 to root 9, root 6, divided by 6, this root 6 and root 6 will cancel out. Root 9 will be 3, okay? So I have 8 times 3, 24, okay? Now the second one, 4 root 24 divided by 2 root 8. So again, here, I can do 2 times 12 or 6 times 4 in place of root 24. But I'm going to do 8 and 3 so that my denominator root 8 can cancel the root 8 that will get, okay, when I break root 24 down. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. Root 8 will cancel. So my answer will be 2 root 3. Now the fourth one, okay. 6 root 12 divided by 2 root 3, okay. So 6 root 12 numerator, 2 root 3 denominator. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, with the root 12, again, I can do 2 times 6, okay? But I have root 3 at the denominator, so I'll do 3 times 4. So instead of root 12, I'll write root 3, root 4, okay? So when I cancel the root 3's out, I'm left with 3 times root 4. Root 4 is 2, so I have 6. 4. 3 root 3 times 2 root 3. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. Root 3 is 3. Okay, so now 6 times 3 is 18. If you still don't understand sets, okay, go on the platform and look for sets, okay? And I've done some topics there, okay? All these are explained, but we said you need a good knowledge of your times table, okay, and your factors, okay? So, because you always want to get rid of the denominator, and I explained that to you in those videos, okay? In maths, we don't like sets in the denominator. It's classed as untidied, okay? Go and watch it. I don't want to repeat myself, okay? Now today, we are going to solve more algebraic questions. We've done some of these questions, not similar, but the same thing. So I'm just going to do a few questions with you. Then that'll be our conclusion for now. Okay, if there are other things, we'll look at other challenging things, or past papers. We'll look at it and then we'll solve it under possible exam questions, okay? So now, factorize, okay? I did this with you, and I did the ones where the s squared of the quadratic equation, okay, have a coefficient like more than 1, okay? This is easy because it has 1, 9x, x squared plus 9x plus 14. Okay, I want to break the 9x such that initially you want to break this middle part. Okay, so I want to break it such that when I add it up, I'll get back to 9x. Okay, but when I multiply the two numbers, I have 1 there and I have 14 here. I should get 14. So if you look at this, 5x plus 4x will give me 9x. But if I multiply 5 by 4, I will not get 14. So the two numbers that I can think of is 7 plus 7 plus 2. Okay, because 7 times 2 is 14. There's a 1 here, and there's a constant 14 here. Okay. Assuming this is minus 9, then I'll use minus 7x minus 2x, because the minus, when I multiply, it will give me plus. Okay, so I hope you understand what we are doing. Immediately you're able to break the middle number, then the rest is easy. So if I take the first two terms and bring us out, I'm having x plus 7 because x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. So if there's an x plus 7 in this bracket, there should be a second bracket, x plus 7. So I'll create another one, x plus 7. Okay, now what should I put here to make these last two terms true? So 2, because 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, so now x plus 7, x plus 7. So that will be my first one. And then x plus 2 will be my second one. And if I'm asked to expand and I multiply through, I should go back to this step. We've done videos on this series about the expansion and the factorization. Coming this way, factorize. Going back that way, expand. Okay, we've done videos on that. Okay, so this is like a revision. Now, assuming we are asked to solve and they give us solve x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals 0. You've just factorized to say that all this, assuming it's one question, all this will be equal to x plus 2, one bracket, x plus 7, the second bracket. So if you equate this to 0, what this means is either x plus 2 is 0 or x plus 7 is 0. Because you remember the quadratic formula, you get plus or minus. So you get two values of x. So if x plus 2 is 0, x will be minus 2. Okay? If x plus 7 is 0, x is minus 7. Because if the whole of this bracket is 0, when you multiply 0 by everything in this bracket, it will give you 0. So it's either this is 0 or that is 0 to get 0, or both of them are 0. So we'll go for the case where both of them are 0. In that case, we solve for x in each case. So now x will be equal to minus 2 or minus 7. That's why the quadratic formula, you have x equals to whatever you get, there is a plus or minus. Okay, and in this case, your answer for x or y or whatever variable you use, you get to value for that variable if it's equated to 0. That is if they ask you to solve. If they don't ask you to solve, then it's just factorization, you do that. But if they ask you to solve, then maybe the question might carry up to 5 or 4 marks. So you factorize first and then you solve it, okay? At times, they might just give you this part, okay? And then equate it to 0 and say find the value of x, which we have just done now, okay? These are things you can't go wrong if you learn them well, okay? Apart from the little mistakes, but even the mistakes, I've shown you how to deal with them. Use estimation. If you are not sure, check again. That's why don't waste your time being distracted. When you get to the exam room, focus. Use your time wisely. Do the ones you can do. Go back to the challenging ones. get as much time as you want. Get like 10 minutes to 15 minutes towards the end. Go back, and as if you are scanning through your work and you are marking your work like you do in your classroom or at home. Go through, and then, like I'm going through my work now. So if there's something, I can quickly correct it, okay? And that's why nobody is perfect, so they're not asking you to get 100% unless you are doing baby maths, okay? You're an adult and you are doing baby maths or mental maths, then maybe the expectation is a bit high, because the purpose of that is to help you think more faster for your exams so that you can save time, okay? But I always say that even if uh, you're having a bad day and you can't get on, just take your time, take a deep breath, take your time, and you would do it by the end, okay? So don't be backed and say, oh, once it's difficult, I can't do it, so I'm not going back. Maybe you can do it this time, please, because you've learned a lot. You've grown more. You should understand things more now, okay? And you are not in school, so that stress of school, maybe there's a different stress now, but that one, you know what it is, so you should be able to deal with it and um, help yourself. Because if this is what you need, you can achieve it and just get rid of it, jump that head on and do other things, okay? Now, this is another example which we've done. This is for higher maths, higher sets, okay? People who are expecting A and A star and B's, okay? But you can also learn it, okay? I don't give up on students. I think everybody can do it if you give yourself time and some few days and you watch the video over and over again. You should be able to do it, okay? Find the values of A and B such that 6y, 6y, y squared plus 6y minus 3 equals y plus A all squared plus B. Okay, so we are finding A and we are finding B, okay, the values using this quadratic equation. Now this is a quadratic equation, and then if you expand y plus A squared together, you are going to get plus B. You get y plus A onto bracket y plus A. Whatever you get, you add B. Okay. Now, if you do that, you get y squared plus 2ay plus A squared plus B. Now, if you are going to compare whatever you got here, okay, to the quadratic equation you've given, okay, make sure you use the signs, okay, don't interchange it, okay. Now, you can have the coefficient of y here is 1. So y squared, gone. Now, the coefficient in front of y here is 2a. So straight away, 2a equals 6. So a will be 3. So I found a. Okay. Now, the last one, a squared plus b will be equal to minus 3 because there's a plus here and there's minus here. So all this constant will be equal to minus 3. So a squared plus b will be equal to minus 3. I've just found that a is 3. So a squared, 3 squared plus b will be minus 3. So b will be minus 3. 3 squared is 9. So if I move it here, it will be minus 9. So b will be minus 12. So the values of a is 3 and the b is minus 12. Okay. So now, that is the first part. Okay. Now, solve y squared plus 6y minus 3 equals 0. Okay. Leave your answer in sets 4. Okay. So now, y squared plus 6y minus 3 will be y plus 3, that is the a we found, all squared, minus 12 equals 0. Y plus 3 all squared. When I move the minus 12, this one, to this other side, it becomes plus 12. So y plus 3 all squared will be equal to plus 12. Y plus 3 will be equal to plus or minus root of 12, because to get rid of the square, I have to square root both sides. Immediately I square root, there should be a plus or minus. So y now, okay, I'm going to move the 3 to the other side, which will be minus 3. So it will be minus 3 plus or minus root of 12. Okay, so my y should be minus 3 plus root 12, or minus 3 minus root 12. So if I know the value of root 12, I can simplify. But here, they said, leave your answer in set 4. So this will be my answer. These are the two values of y. Okay. Again, so that is case 1. Okay, that is the one way they can ask the question. Or I can use the quadratic formula, y equals minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, before I can use this formula, this equation should be equal to 0. If the quadratic equation is not equal to 0, I can't use that. Okay. So if they haven't equated it to 0, I can just factorize and leave my answer. So in that case, it should be something I can factorize. But if they equate it to 0 and I can't find the right factors, that will break the middle term so that I can use the bracket to find my values of y. Then I have to use this formula. But the only way I can use this formula is when my quadratic equation equals 0. Now, if we look at the quadratic equation, a will be 1. Okay, I'm taking the coefficient. Okay, a will be 1. Comparing it with this ay squared plus by plus c equals 0. A will be 1, b will be 6, and 6, AC will be minus 3. Okay. So y equals, my formula again, minus b. B is 6, so minus 6 plus or minus the square root of a b squared, which is 6 squared, minus 4. A is 1, C is minus 3, all divided by 2A. Okay, now after you've used this formula and you know what your A, B, and C are from the quadratic equation, whatever you are going to do is calculation. Okay, and make sure you follow the signs so that you don't get it wrong. So after this point, this is the only point, and that point I think is challenging. Okay, so if you're able to do this, you should be able to arrive at the answer just by following through. Okay, it's like go to the junction, turn left. So this is where you are now. Turn right, and then you slightly move to the right, and there's a house on top of the hill, the third house. That is what you are doing here now. You are following what you have started here to finish. So y equals minus 6 plus or minus the root of 6 squared minus 4 AC. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, all over 2A. So minus 6 plus or minus, meaning we are going to get two values of y. Okay, 36 squared is 36. Now there's a minus here, so we have a plus. 4 times 1 times 3 is 12. If you add that, you get 48. Okay, so y equals, there's all over 2a. Okay, so this denominator will affect your 6 and it will affect everything here. So if I have minus 6 plus or minus the root of 48 over 2, these two affects the 6 and it affects that as well. Okay, so first of all, if I cancel out, I have 3 plus or minus. Now if I do root 4 times root 12, root 4 will give me 2, so I can use the 2 to cancel out. Okay, this is how a multiplication factors and mental math can help here. So now I have minus 3 plus or minus, okay, and then the root 12. I can also do another 4 times 3, or I can leave it as root 12. Okay, assuming I had another 2 to cancel out, but I don't, so I'm going to leave it that way. So minus 3 plus or minus root 4, okay, which I have cancelled, which will give me a 2, which will cancel out, root 12. So I have minus 3 plus or minus root 12. So y will be minus 3 plus root 12, or minus 3 minus root 12. Okay, so in effect, you have solved the equation, but in this case, they should equate the quadratic formula to 0 before you can use this formula. Okay, now thank you to everyone who has joined me. Okay, in this video, and I'll see you in the next.